a motherfucking wine cellar. Now, I'm sorry. You consider yourself a pastor, preacher, bit?
I have been those things.
Okay.
I've been those.
So I really shouldn't even be cussing around.
You can cuss. I cuss.
You cuss?
I do.
Okay.
It feels good.
Officially known as the official King Jives.
Yes.
Okay, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever else. Now, you done pissed a lot. I consider you me in the church industry. Yeah. Like, you know, I got the celebrity gossip.
I got the church gossip.
You got the church gossip. You know what I'm saying? Welcome. Listen, we even brought out a special bottle of wine for you.
Appreciate it.
You say you only drink sweet wine like Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, there we go. I don't want it to over pour that. We took Teddy's wine for this wine that you about to spill.
That's real good.
It's real good. Cheers. Cheers. Okay, welcome. Got you all the way in town from Tampa.
That's real good.
Oh, that is good. It's a nice Saturday breakfast kind of, you know, just Bellini spritzer.
After a little long walk.
Yeah, you can. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. Listen, my executive assistant Jason told you, because he's Jamaican, so he think everybody else is either from the islands or Jamaican.
I told him, I said it is okay. After that breakfast,
listen, made you walk all the way here to walk the calories of your breakfast off, and it was like a 16, 17-minute walk in the scorching hot sun, and you got on all black.
I walked in the shade.
And you black. There ain't no shade out there. It don't matter if you in the shade or not.
It was like those little hood things.
But it's still hot because it's humid as hell.
Yeah.
So I apologize about that. But listen, I don't want to get anything wrong because you're in the middle of a pretty kind of big lawsuit. Like you're going through what I went through. For you know, just still going through shit. You were sued by a pastor of a church, okay, out of St. Paul, Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay. Now, his name is Bishop Wayne.
No.
It's okay.
Wayne Felton. Wayne Felton. That's what I call him, Wayne. I was trying to spare his title. I really was. I was trying to spare his title but after all the fuckery and shit.
Yeah. So
Wayne.
Okay, Wayne R. Felton. All right. Senior. Now he pastors the Holy Christian Church International, which is called the HCCI. Okay. So I guess short for, you know, the Holy Christian Church International. These church names is getting longer and longer. Why y'all got such long names? And whatever happened to just, you know, Praise Baptist or
First Baptist,
Holy Trinity, whatever.
Everybody want to be, you know, they want to be extra deep. So that's my world. That's my world. I can never deny that. But I was telling your husband,
okay,
you know, growing up in that and being older, you see things differently.
Right.
And so, you know, being an adult and seeing this type of stuff now is just like,
okay,
like y'all got to be fucking kidding me, you know, just to see all of this,
yeah,
and then y'all try to justify it, and then play me like I'm stupid, like I don't supposed to see what I'm seeing, like I'm supposed to just praise God over this foolishness. But you go ahead.
So basically, you know, you're kind of doing what I'm doing, like letting the people know what's going on in the church. Good,
Tosh,
bad, or indifferent.
Tosh, here's the thing.
Okay.
Just like people bring things to you, they bring things to me. I don't be fucking with nobody. I be minding my own business, making my crowns, doing graphics, you know, in my world. When people bring things to me, I have to verify this stuff to make sure it's legit. And so when I look at it, just like I did that, just to give you timeline, when I got this case, I looked at it and, well, let me take it back. I got a phone call October 20, I wouldn't say October 20 something. So the voicemail came in, I listened to it, I brushed it off because I was like.
Was this one of the, I guess, alleged accusers that's accusing this particular pastor?
So this was a member who worked in his house
Oh.
This was their
not the church, but his home.
His church and the home.
Okay.
This was the parent, the mother. She called me. I didn't know who she was. Never met the lady a day in my life. She left a voicemail on my phone, on my Google number. I didn't know who the lady was. I was like, okay, who was some fuck shit today?
Let's go over these allegations first before you start from the beginning, okay? Because I know that's a lot right there, and hold that thought, okay? Now, he's accusing you of falsely stating, okay, that you received his side of the story whenever you put out this particular story, or stories, because it's a lot to unwind. So when I was looking through your channel, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I'm talking about hours and hours and hours of just footage and just commentary. So I was like, it's just easy if I brought him here, okay? And so basically he's saying that you did not receive, and that is defamation count 1 that he's suing for. These are his claims, okay? And so you have not been found liable nor guilty in any court. You are currently right now fighting, basically stating that this is not true.
Correct.
And he is saying that this is true.
Correct.
Okay. And so basically he is accusing you of falsely stating that you received Bishop Felton's side of the story before initially publishing the alleged sex scandal, whereas Jives admitted, I guess, that Bishop Felton did not divulge his side of the story and that he misunderstood or understood their conversation was off the record. So basically, you had, I guess, spoke to him when you got the allegations, and I don't know if you told him if it was on the record or off the record, and then, you know, you went ahead and published a story with these.
If you continue reading,
I'm going to continue reading.
He said it's off the record. Then he said it was never really like on the record. We was just talking. But what I told him was this. When I got, well, go ahead and finish reading it, because I really want to tell you how all this happened. Okay.
So basically, he's accusing you of falsely stating that his sons engaged in sexual misconduct. Falsely stating that...
How are you going to put your son in a lawsuit?
I don't know. Your sons have to sue. I did see that too. They have to sue. You can't sue for somebody else. Falsely stating that his wife was knowledgeable of the matter and was an enabler. So he can't really sue for the wife either, unless he's going to add the wife to the lawsuit. Basically, it'll be him, his sons, and the wife that would have to be making these claims. Also falsely informing the public that Bishop Felton was hypocritical for preaching against homosexuality and then engaging in it at the same time. Falsely stating that members of his church were commenting in chat rooms and being evil and hateful. Falsely stating that Bishop Felton slept with a woman referred to in the letter who is a church member, I guess, of his church. Falsely reporting that Bishop Felton was aware that you were going live with this story. Falsely stating that Bishop Felton engaged in the same conduct when he was a youth pastor, and using the word pedophile in a video about Bishop Felton in the church. We're going to talk about that because I didn't see where you accused him of being a pedophile. So I don't know. Okay. Falsely suggesting that Bishop Felton was grooming other women in his church for sexual misconduct. And falsely claiming that Bishop Felton was his friend publicly, but crucified me at his church for being homosexual. I don't know what that means, but okay. Falsely accusing other members of the church of making homophobic statements against him. Other members of his church of making homophobic statements against him. Let me make sure I correct that. And making false statements about Bishop Felton's sexual orientation and implying that he is a pedophile. Now, when you say implying, it doesn't sound like you outright said it. Maybe there was some context and perception is within the viewer.
I never said those things.
Okay.
I never implied that he was a pedophile.
Okay.
I never implied any of that. Okay. Now, because of the context of that particular statement, I can't really go into that because that's a whole nother bag of worms.
Yeah, each statement is a claim.
But
it's supposed to be a claim.
But that situation, that involves some other people that I can't even deal with. So it's just like, but that situation involved someone else that someone in the church had called them that involved someone.
Okay.
And because it was because it was their child.
Oh.
They called him, and so he felt like it was me who said those things, and so that's why he said that I called him a pedophile.
Well, he said implying that
he was but I had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Because I never even called that person and said anything about that. So that's where that came from. As far as the homosexual thing go, that statement came from one of my videos where I said a lot of these preachers are out here preaching and getting caught up in the very thing that they're preaching against, like homosexuality, adultery, and everything like that. So he took that statement and said that I was basically talking about him.
Implying.
So he, just like my lawyer was saying, he's just taking little bitty pieces and trying to just nitpick. So that's what we're dealing with.
Okay, I have one of those. I know what that means. Now there's more. So now there's another count 2, defamation per se. Now he's saying that hold on. You falsely suggested that Bishop Felton was grooming other women in his church for sexual misconduct when he stated, "There's another Marquita now. I guess she at the church now. She over there with Bishop now. All of a sudden, her and 2 other women are the prophets. Amen." Okay.
So
hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm gonna let you respond to all of this shit. Okay. Jives also, he's saying that you also falsely stated that Bishop Felton slept with women, not his wife, referencing the woman from the letter. Because apparently this is how all this started. You were sent some letters from church members that were essentially, they in the beginning were anonymous until later. Yeah. Okay. And so referencing the woman from the letter when he stated that y'all slept with the woman's husband. Jives falsely stated, now this is his allegations only, you have not been held liable for anything, stated that when Felton was at his previous church as a youth pastor, this same type of act was going on. Hello, not only was this the same type of act going on, but Bishop said that white folks at the church was trying to run him out, and they didn't want a black man in charge. Jives also falsely stated that Bishop Felton was homosexual and a pedophile. And then it says that you further falsely stated that y'all preaching so hard against homosexuality only for y'all to get caught up in homosexuality. And basically they're saying that defendant's statements constitute defamation per se because they accuse or imply that Bishop Felton has engaged in serious sexual misconduct. Okay. And he is now suing for the sum greater than $75,000. It looks like it's in district court. It's not in.
It's some type of district court upstate Minnesota. So.
Okay, all right, that's interesting because I was like state court or federal court. Which one?
Apparently, it's in federal court.
Okay, then
because the only way he can be able to enter that into federal.
That's what I was gonna say.
It has to be $75,000
or more, right?
But then he also put in another document that he said it was like $50-some thousand, and then he changed it around. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on, and he's just switching his words around back and forward and stuff, and.
So start from the beginning. You received 2 letters.
So
you're minding your business and you received 2 letters.
So I'm minding my business. Okay. I'm out with my family, chilling, and I get a phone call. I don't know where this number comes from.
Okay.
Voicemail comes in. I listen to it. I ignore it. I was like, okay. So then I'm like, let's do it again. Let me call Uncle Bishop, because that's what I called him, Uncle Bishop. And so I considered him a friend.
And we're talking about Bishop Felton.
Wayne Felton, yes.
Wayne.
So I considered him like, a friend at the time. And so I was like, well, let me call my friend and let him know and find out what's going on, because I'm like, dude, like, you okay? Like, what is this? Somebody trying to do a smear campaign? Because I'm thinking this, because the way he preached, it was like he was super saved. I don't know if you know what that means. Super saved means like you is just before God. You was always praying. You were always.
You grew up in the church and never strayed.
Yeah, you don't do nothing wrong. So in my eyes, that's what I saw this man is like. He does nothing wrong. So I called him. Well, I'm sorry. I texted his phone first. He didn't reply. I hit him on Facebook. I text him. Then he FaceTimed me. And as soon as he FaceTimed me, he starts crying.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, bitch, what's wrong with you? So I'm sitting here like kind of stuck, and I'm saying to myself, should I be recording this or something? Because I'm like,
the blogger came out of you.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm like, why are you crying? So at that moment, he's admitting everything to me. He said he did it. He said he did it, but it's not really like the way that they said it. It's I did it. I mean, I should have never did. You know, I should have never went that far.
Now, did what person?
So he said that. Well, I mean, I didn't really let her suck my dick. I didn't really have sex. I was like,
oh, so he got some head.
I was like, wait a minute, nigga. Wait a minute. Hold on. What are you saying to me right now?
Okay.
So I'm stuck because I'm sitting here like,
not you.
Not you. And I'm like, okay. I had to pull it back in. I was like, what are you saying to me? So he was saying, Mario, I did it. I did do it. Everything that's being said, I did do it.
In the letters? In
the letters. Well, now, I hadn't even seen the letters yet.
Oh.
But he was saying everything that's being said, I did it. But I didn't do it like they're saying all the way that I did it. And I was like, well, what are you saying? He was saying, I did mess with another woman. I was involved. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, well, see, they just haven't heard my side yet. And I'm like, well, what do you mean your side? And I'm getting him to try to talk. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, well, I was messing with this lady. And so I said, okay, well, listen. I said, listen, me and you talking. I said, is there anything out there? Because at this point, I'm trying to see if I can salvage this.
Okay.
Is there anything out there? Any letters, any videos, any audio, anything out there that could come out and just blow all this out of the water? He said no. I said, okay, well, cool. You definitely ain't got to worry about me then.
Well, you got your dick sucked. You got you some pussy. Your wife forgave him. His wife forgave him.
She's still there.
Okay.
So all of this, there was nothing out there. So I said, okay, cool. I left it alone.
Now, this wasn't involving any homosexuality activity.
None of that.
No alleged pedophilic
Nothing.
activity. Just only he had extracurricular affairs outside of his marriage.
Yes.
With his alleged church members.
Yes.
Is what he's explaining to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With this white woman. Because at this point, what I'm getting is that this was involving this white woman at the church.
Okay. All right. White woman at the church.
One of the prayer warriors.
Okay.
One of the prophets, amens. And so, so when I got the letters, well, I'm going to say, when I told him, I said, well, if there's nothing out there, you have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
So we left all that alone, moved on. December the 9th. Now, mind you, I talked to him about, it was around maybe Thanksgiving I talked to him.
Okay.
December the 9th, I got 2 letters texted me. I'm reading the letters, and I'm in shock because I'm like, now didn't I just ask this motherfucker? I just asked this bitch, did you just was there anything out here? So I'm reading, I'm like, wow. So then.
What was in the letters that made you say, wow? Not you having to pull the glasses on.
You've ever read Zane books, right?
Yeah.
It was just like that.
Oh my God. I used to get horny when I used to read
it was like word by it was like we did this and he had me in the closets and he had me in the corners and the crevices and the dark rooms and he pinned me up against the wall and he pressed his dick up against. I was like,
so he was allegedly having worldly sex.
Listen,
with church members. Do you know they say them church women
at
got
this
some of the
time,
best, they say them church single women got some of the best pussy in the world.
This is a married woman.
Oh, she's married too? Oh my God. Keep spilling.
This tea don't it gets worse. It's boiling. This man not only was fucking with a married woman, but he married this woman and put these two together. You want me to say that one more time?
Yes.
So this man had been knowing this girl.
He married the woman that he was fucking with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Had been knowing her since she was 18. I think allegedly 18. I'm saying allegedly. Had been knowing her that long. Put her and her husband together. They got married. Her husband was working for him in the church on the media team. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This what we dealing with. So as I'm reading the letters, I'm sitting here.
So she's basically explaining that she's having some of the best sex of her life. With a black man. Now, was her husband black or white?
He's white.
Oh, damn. She ain't coming back. She gone. She gone.
No, she's still with him.
She gone. Mentally, she gone. She gone.
So, by this time, as I'm still involved in all of this, like, I message him, try to call him. He's not saying nothing. When I messaged him and I said, Bishop, how you let the white girl get you? That's what I said. How you let the white girl get you? He sent me a little crying face. I was like, nah, bitch.
So she fell in love with him.
And I'm sitting here like, this has been going on for almost, according to her, a decade. Not only that, but she's the pastor's wife's friend.
So the bishop is an alleged side nigga to the white woman, to the married wife. How's the bishop an alleged side nigga? Like, what they got going on down there in Minnesota? Is that cold? Okay, so 10 years.
About 10 years. And so all of this, so the husband, what made all this come to a head, she had been trying to break away from him, according to what she's saying in these letters.
The husband or the bishop?
The wife had been trying to break away from the bishop, Wayne.
Oh, shit.
And so she was like, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. And this is just, that she started growing a conscience. 10 years later, whatever. And so she said, I got to tell my husband. So she finally tells her husband. And, apparently they're still together. Okay. So her husband has to preach at the church one particular night. So he writes a letter. She writes a letter. He writes 6 pages. She writes 8 pages. Details by details by details. And she's basically saying to the wife, I'm sorry that I got to tell you this. My friend, all these years, I have to tell you this, that I've been messing with your man. But he has manipulated me. Oh, no. He has, used the word to try to say that what we were doing was okay. Oh. And he has even come to my house while my children were there, wanting to get all frisky in the basement. Listen, I can't make this shit up. Everything. That's why I said, I'm like, this writing was so good. I said, I called her a bitch, and I didn't mean that in a negative way, but you know how black folks, we be talking.
Yeah.
I was like, bitch, you need to write a motherfucking book. And so she got offended. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he called me a bitch. I was like, girl, this is how we talk. Like, girl, like.
Only bitches sleep with people's husbands around their husbands. Only bitches sleep with people's husbands on their husbands. Side bitches.
So all this stuff goes on, and they write the letter. They give it to him. He preaches, gives it to him. And so his letter is basically like scripturally a word for word rebuke to Wayne. Her letter is a word for word. This is everything that happened with me and your husband, all of this stuff. She said the last straw was when they were trying to get this new building, he called her to the new building, and they were basically on some level, some floor, and she was pregnant, and he was still trying to get some. Still rubbing on her, putting his dick on her and everything while she was pregnant. This is all in the letter. So then, after all of this, and I'm reading this letter, and I'm just talking about it, there's nothing else going on. So then the people start asking me, like, well, Mario, is there anything else going on with the case? I'm like, no. And so next thing I know,
if this is true, she could have sued him.
Well, in Minnesota, according to the law, it's against the law to mess with your parishioners.
Oh.
In Minnesota, it's against the law. You're not supposed to be.
They up there in the Mormon states, so they probably got that law.
You're not supposed to be. You're not, because it puts you in a state, because you're in
It's abuse of power.
Yeah, it's abuse of power. So you're not supposed to be involved
right.
with your laity, because you're the power. They're the people that's looking up to you for guidance.
Just like the president having side bitches. Like,
yes.
You can't, no.
Yeah, like
because people will automatically just assume and be afraid and be intimidated or inferior to you based off of just what you represent.
Yeah.
And will feel inclined to do anything that you say.
Correct.
Because of that power that's on you. Yeah.
So all of that go on, and so months go by, I hadn't said nothing else, and I end up, somebody started coming by my house, and I'm like, fuck is this? So
like riding past?
No, somebody, me and my auntie had just pulled up. Like, we was just out to eat, and so we was getting ready to go fishing. So we pulled up to the house, and so some dude pulled up, and he was like, yeah, I'm looking for so-and-so, so-and-so. You know, we're colored people. You know, we don't do certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitch, I don't know who
when they came to serve me, I was like, who are you? And I was ready. I said, you know, I could have put a bullet in your head.
So I got in my car, and I was like, phew. Like,
yeah.
So my auntie got back. She got home. She was like, yeah. She thought, I thought that was, you know, this other dude. And so she said, that was Felton. So I said, Felton? What Felton? So I looked it up online. I was like, so I wasn't going to say nothing. I was like, okay, whatever. So he ends up trying to sue me for defamation. I said, well.
So he was trying to serve you.
Yeah, he was trying to serve me. And I'm like, how are you trying to serve me for defamation when this is you? You did this. You did this. So.
And we're only talking about right now him having an inappropriate relationship.
Yes.
With an alleged.
This
an alleged inappropriate relationship within one of his members.
No. This is not alleged. Okay. Let me tell you how it's not alleged.
Okay.
Because the woman just made a video, which I wish she had did this a long time ago.
Okay.
She just made a video about a month ago.
Okay.
And she put all this stuff out there. Now, mind you, she tried not to say the name, but everything's already out here now.
We gotta see. So we gotta have parts of that video in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So she put this stuff out here.
Okay.
And I'm like, how are you gonna sue me for what you did do? And these are not my words.
Or what she said you did.
What she said you did.
Yeah. So you're basically only reporting according to what she said.
I'm only telling the story according to what this lady said you did to her.
Remember that going forward.
That's it.
Any story, according to such and such. They said you said.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this because it's already documented. According to Sarah Jensen, this is what she said you did to her.
And that's how you keep yourself out of lawsuits.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I've always done. If Sarah Jensen said you did XYZ, that's what I said.
Then you knew your fight is with her, not me.
And that's what I said. When I told my attorney the same thing. Every conversation that we've had has been the same thing. Not no, well, I think, I thought, no. Miss Ma'am said XYZ. That's it. Not no, I think, I thought, no. This is what was said. This is what was done. Boom. So why are you suing me and not her?
Well, they try to control the narrative. And you're pretty big in the church sector. You have all the wine. Communion.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not the only person out here though.
I know.
But it's just like.
But but a lot of it's very political in the church, though. They pick and choose who they want to report on. There's no equal opportunity reporters. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity reporter. That's why, you know, I don't go to any of the parties because I'm liable to get jumped by groups. I can't outdo them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't none of y'all friends. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are fucking commodity. But go ahead.
So, I mean, after all of it, you know, that's what we're dealing with. And so he's been, you know, trying to just say, oh, you know, even in one part of the lawsuit, he was trying to say, oh, how much money have you made off me?
Oh.
That's what he said in the lawsuit. Oh, how much money have you made since you've been talking about me? And I'm like, first of all, and I said on one of my videos, I was like, nigga, I ain't made shit off you. I said, I got to GoFundMe up right now, and it's only at $80. I said, any money that I've ever made, it's been because I made that money. Your parishioners who got money don't send shit to me. Well, I take that back. It's been a handful of them that send like, you know, a couple, you know, 10, 20, 30, $100 here or there. But I'm like, you got members in your church, and I can't even say what I really want to say. I'd say it offline, but you got members in your church who got bank. And they know what I'm saying to be true, but they won't even support because they're scared of him. Because the Lord, this the God's man. Fuck that nigga. You hear me? Yeah. Because if you think that this is God's man and this shit is okay, and then for him to even say, oh, you're jealous of where I live. Bitch, I don't give a fuck where you live at. You live in a 10,000 square foot home. I don't give a damn. Bitch, that's a bill.
Yeah, that is a bill.
I don't understand why.
It's not a flex.
That's not a flex, bitch.
You gotta go beg for the money every Sunday.
That is not a flex. Like, you got all this stuff. Like, you gotta collect big offerings to pay these bills and these taxes. That is not a flex. That's nigga shit. Like, come on, that's nigga shit.
Shout out to nigga shit.
So he talking about, oh, he's jealous. Well, he didn't say it. His attorney told my attorney that. That's what I'll say, because that's what was said. And so it's just been this whole little, I'm jealous. It's just been tit for tat, like little kid stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not here for this. I'm just here reporting on what's out here and what's true. If you don't like what's being done, get your act right and move the fuck around. That's all. I don't care whether you like me or not. I'm just here reporting this shit. You're a pastor. You have a job, and that is to lead the people and to do right. The Bible said, let your light so shine. Bitch, let it shine. Okay? They can't see your good works because you out here swinging dick. You know what I'm saying? They can't see it. So, so my thing has...
so many interviews that I enjoy. I'm just
so my thing is, like, I'm not mad at none of these preachers that I've ever reported on. And I always say none of this stuff is ever personal. Because if it ever come out and I see it, because I'm not going to look for it, if it comes out and I talk about it, it's nothing personal. Because if you don't do the fuck shit, none of us, me, you, anybody, will never have nothing to talk about.
Where did the homosexuality claims come in? Because I've seen him preach not against homosexuality, but I've seen him be very stern on the word and what the word says against homosexuality. And I've seen sermons where he's kind of used a lot of his own experiences of, you know, him dealing with homosexual people in the church. And he's specifying the gospel sector. He's saying that the gospel sector is just, you know, saturated with LGBTQ. And, you know, he happened to come from, you know, the church and playing the drums and stuff. And he's had many advances. But, you know, he's almost, I think at one time I saw him, and he was, you know, just kind of telling one of his experiences is that he ended up quitting something that he loved to do, which was playing the drums, being a percussionist, because there was so many advances made to him as a child by men in leadership positions in the gospel community. And he said, you know, one, I'm not gay. Two, but this is not right when grown men are,
Absolutely.
you know, soliciting teenagers. And so he said he had dealt with that firsthand. And I think he feels very strongly about the condemning the LGBTQ and where they stand as far as Christianity and
so
like
I had him on my show, I think twice. And so, you know, we stood where we stood, and I thought we were friends at the time. And so, you know, I'm never going to make you into something that you're not.
Okay.
And so I always said, like, you know, this is where you stand. This is where I stand. You know, if you've never had that experience, cool. It is what it is. And
but
so
you felt like he's had an experience.
No, I never felt like he had an experience.
Okay.
I was just like, you know, whatever your story is whatever your story is. That is what it is. I can't make up a story for you. That is just that. So when he said those things on the show, I was just kind of like, okay. Now, because he kept implying about all of these advances. And I did look at him like, well, nigga, how many advances did you get? Like you still around and you getting all these advances? And so I just kind of left it there because I was kind of like, why you keep harping on this and going on? I'm like, did something happen? You know, so when he was like, no, I was like, okay, y'all. Because everybody else was like, I think he did something. And I was like, well, no, y'all. I said, you can't do that.
Not every pastor is gay.
And not every pastor is gay. I said, y'all can't do that.
They either love dick or they love pussy.
I said, y'all can't do that because if he's saying that he did not have an experience, he did not have an experience. That's that. Leave it alone. You can't make the man gay. You can't do that. You can't imply something that he did not admit to. So that's what that was. So when he's talking about somebody being homosexual, I never said he was a homosexual. What I said, even in my videos, was I said a lot of people are bashing and preaching against things that they're doing behind closed doors.
Like the preacher that was caught here on the OnlyFans. I think his name was Dwight or Dwayne.
Yeah.
What's his name again? James is too early. And
I know him.
And he was busting it wide open.
And I saw the video.
And he was it was real comfortable.
It was very comfortable.
He said that was his sneaky link. And he went in that thing raw.
Even with that situation.
Okay. What is his name again?
His name is Dwayne Dawkins.
Okay, Dwayne Dawkins. Mr. I gave my wife a clean bill of health to assure her of her safety. Was that before or after you bust that ass wide open? And preached against homosexuality in your church? I
didn't even know Dwayne did stuff like that. Now I knew Dwayne like dudes. Listen, I've known Dwayne for years. And so, because Dwayne used to be in my inbox years ago.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, keep spelling.
Years ago. See, years ago. But I was...
Shout out to years.
And Look
to your neighbor and say, years ago.
So I was just kind of like, when I saw it, I was just like, I'm not shocked. So I immediately inboxed him. I was like, don't say shit. Don't get out here on the internet and say shit. Don't say nothing.
And he did it the opposite of that.
I'm like, what? Oh, this is an ugly thing. Nigga, that video didn't look like it was an ugly thing to me. And I'm like, why do y'all do this stuff? And then you get out here and make these ignorant statements. And so he made like 2 or 3 statements talking about this is the devil and this is this and this is that. And then the boy, Fat Cat, this dude he was fucking, was like, nigga, you paid me. And we had an agreement. This is what happened. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, like you knew it was going to be recorded.
You knew this. And then one of the angles, you was looking dead at the camera. So
he was.
And I'm like, if you knew you was going to be on camera, nigga, you should have been like, fuck it for real.
My question is, you went into somebody's asshole without a condom. and then you go and you continuously lay down with your wife without a condom?
First of all, he said in the video, come on, because I got to get back to my wife. Need some good berries.
Whoa! Whoa. I didn't hear that part.
Either he said that or Fat Cat said, well, come on, because you got to get back to your wife. Some stuff like that. This is what I'm saying.
And church.
This is what I'm saying.
He had a big church here in Miami.
This is what I'm saying. This goes on. And the girls know all about it. No, I ain't going to say all the girls, but some of the girls know all about it. And they protect these people because either they want to be with this man or these people, or it's a title or it's a position. But me personally, I'm like, I'm like, hold these people accountable because you're serving them. And this is what they're doing to you.
Yeah. Isn't that a form of homophobia and transphobia? When you deliberately entertain someone in a high position or who has an amount of money that's serving you, but don't want to walk into a Kmart with you and will threaten to kill you or do bodily harm to you if you were to say something. So you continuously have sex with down low men. Down low men. And you're a transgender woman and you're entertaining down low men. They pay your bills. Isn't that a form of direct transphobia and homophobia? Being that they don't want the public to know, and they will hurt you if you say something.
I'm not going to say it's transphobia or homophobia because if you're still having sex with these individuals, if you're a so-called straight man and you're still having sex with a trans woman or a homosexual man or gay man, that's not trans or homophobia. That's just down low, but then you get in public and you bash somebody because the only way you're homophobic is and this is my opinion. These are my thoughts.
Okay.
The only way you're homophobic is if you're not involved in this yourself. Well, I can't say it like that. If you're homophobic against something and you're not involved, that's one thing. But if you're so-called homophobic and you're having sex with people that's of the same gender or transgender, to me, that's like something wrong with you.
But a lot of the crimes happen with the people that they're sleeping with. It happens more, I would say more trans women and more homosexual men, okay, are targeted by people whom they are in relationships with.
Well, see, okay, so with that,
as opposed to someone totally oblivious and just speaking their opinions. I'm not a threat to you because I'm not in close vicinity of you to hurt you.
So something like that. See, because me personally, I know.
Okay.
Like that's not my world. That's not my issue. Like living where I'm threatened. Well, being gay is being threatened, but as a trans woman, I don't have that to deal with.
That extra.
Yeah. But like I still stand for my sisters and my brothers who have to deal with that.
Right.
But like I don't know, like, cause that's a whole situation.
It was just a little 18-year-old boy the other day, and we're gonna get back to what we're talking about though. But it was an 18-year-old boy the other day went home with a trans woman. Didn't found out when he got to the house, I guess according to him, that it was a trans woman. Shot her, came back and shot her again to make sure she was dead.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
A lot of people don't tell, and that sometimes could be a problem. That's a lot of time the problem. A lot of these people don't tell who they really are. Now, that's not everybody's story. That's not everybody's situation, because some people are upfront and are truthful about who they are and what they got going on. But that's not everybody's story. And probably 9 times out of 10, that young boy who went home with that trans lady, that trans person, they probably didn't know. And when they got home and found out, it probably was a different story. But then again, we really don't know. So again, every situation, when it comes down to the bedroom, it's a different story. You know, because when you got 2 men that's sleeping together, or 2 women, well, because you really don't hear about the women, but when you got 2 men that's sleeping together, you know what's going on. But when it comes down to that other, it tends to be something totally different. Thank you. Okay. It tends to be something totally different. So I don't know. So out of respect for, you know, my trans community, like I just leave that alone, because I'm just like, I just respect where everybody is, and I just let that be.
Right. Okay. No, and I just wanted us to cover that, because I feel that if you are a pastor like Dwayne Dawkins and you're deliberately preaching, like you're consciously writing down exactly what you are going to preach, and you know exactly what you're going to preach, and then you deliberately make backdoor deals with OnlyFans stars who are men, and you are allowing them to record you, and you're calling them your sneaky link, and you know you have a wife. To me, that is more homophobic than anything.
To me, I would say that that's crazy. You can call it homophobic, but I call it crazy because it's like you're preaching something, and these are the very people that stand up in your church, sing, preach, do your tithe and offering, run your church, do everything, and then they still stand up here preaching and dancing and running around, and it's like you're preaching, God said this, and then you sucking a dick, or they sucking your dick late on that afternoon. This is what's going on, and I'm just like,
that's crazy. This
is crazy. Like, and I'm like, listen, whatever you believe is whatever you believe. However you believe, however you believe. But if you're doing this is why I said from the initial statement, I hold you to a certain regard. I'm not saying that you're not human, but when you say, oh, I'm a pastor, or I'm a this, or I'm a that, I'm looking for you to do what you said that you're supposed to be doing. I'm not looking for you not to make mistakes. I'm looking for you to be who you said you are. And if you did make a mistake or do make a mistake, own that shit.
And I've seen plenty of pastors and preachers who have had relationships with their members get caught, come in, apologize to their church. The church accepts it because they're human, and they move on. They may lose a few members here and there, but you know, when it's in you, when the word is in you, it's in you. The gift is there.
If you make a mistake, I don't expect for you to do that shit again next week, 2 weeks down the road. That's what I'm saying.
He said he was sorry for that time. That time.
Okay,
Now, so we got the homosexuality part out the way. So he's basically saying that you're implying, based off of his experiences that he's talked about, based off of all the advances that he remembers, that it must be something because he was harboring on that.
Yeah, he really, every time he got on a show with me, he would go back to his church and talk about us. Like, dog us out like a dog. Like, talk about us real bad. And I'm just like, and again, his church members or ex-church members would bring this stuff back to me. So it's not like I'm pulling this out my ass. He would sit up out here and do this, and his members would either record this or tell me that this was going on. And I'd be like, but if you got a problem with me, just say that, because I won't bother you. And I mean that in the most respectful way, like I won't fuck with you.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, why is he having a conversation with a homosexual man, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. So, like, because I'm very involved in church.
I understand.
You know, he gives me all the tea. Okay? Like, anytime I'm out here talking about something going on, yo, Josh, you know, I heard da-da-da-da, you know, so-and-so said.
That is the first sign of you having some feminine traits, okay? Well, you like to sit with the girls.
Now, I ain't said this, but all I'm saying is you used to pick up that phone and you used to call me and tell me all the tea that was going on in the back rooms.
But when it's your wine.
But when it's your time, I'm a faggot ass nigga.
Oh, no, he called you a faggot? No.
I'm not gonna make this stuff, and that's what really irritated me, because I'm sitting here like, if I was all of this, why did you keep fucking with me? Because I'd rather you have just left me alone than to sit out here and to keep entertaining me, and you out here got all this mouth to say about me, but then when you want to get the juice, when you want to find out like what's the word in the church circles, yo, Jives, yeah, I heard da-da-da-da, and Bishop so-and-so said, and the other bishop, and see, I was just in this meeting, da-da-da-da-da.
He giving you the drop.
You giving me your tea. Cause you already got my tea. I'm like, okay.
So it's only fair game. It's equal opportunity over here. Now it's your turn.
So even out of that,
he did that as a distraction from his own shit? Being that he had this alleged affair with this white woman in his church?
I don't know, because I don't think that he ever expected for that to even come out. Because he had just that much control over these people. Mind you, these people they would serve in the church. He was teaching them how to speak in tongues and how to prophesy over the people, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, because he was, you know, in communication with you, it's kind of like, oh, if I talk to him, he won't report on me because of everything that I've given him.
So,
and I'm gonna be honest with you, that's how I ended up in my situation. Favoritism. They want favors. I don't do favors. I do numbers. I do stories. Strawberries. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, in that case, I have to be that way across the board. I can't do a favor for you, and then when this person asks for it, they're going to be expecting that same favor, because word travels fast. And so I think maybe he thought that if something were to come out, or if he called you crying, that you would give him grace.
I did give him grace. Shit, I asked the motherfucker. I said, bitch, I said, is there anything out here? I was giving you all type of grace, the grease, the butter, the Crisco, the lard. I was giving you every goddamn thing. But you sat there, you fucking lied to me. And I'm telling you, Tasha, I said, nigga, is there anything out here? Now, you know, Tasha, if there was a goddamn sex tape, that would have been a whole fucking situation. Yeah. But it wasn't a sex tape, it was a letter. This woman wrote it word for word. Then she got up, and her husband even got up and spoke and even said the same thing. So it's not like I'm sitting up here making this stuff up. And see, now let's go a different direction. Now, when it comes down to these people that have been involved, this is the problem. You put your stories out here. You want to confess and have your own confessionals, but you want to control how the people respond to how you confess. Now, me personally, I don't have a problem with how you confess your sins one to another.
Right.
But you cannot get mad at how the world responds, because some people are going to be like, you're brave for telling your story, and some people are going to call you a tramp ass bitch. Period, point blank.
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
They're going to choose a side.
Because my thing is this right here. Wrong is wrong. And, you know, she said she was wrong. And I was like, you know what? You admitted you was wrong. I'm rolling with you on that. Kudos to you. You admit it. I'm getting him because you have the power. And you chose to take your power and manipulate somebody for almost a decade. And not only that, this woman even said that there were other women. Oh. So
how many others did she say?
He
allegedly had affairs.
Now,
when it comes to members,
I was told allegedly 3.
Okay.
But I'm also told that there could be more. But I know for myself, hold on, take it back. I know for myself that there was 2 because I talked to one of them. Because 2 of them, Sarah and this other girl, said both of them said that he wanted to FaceTime while they masturbate.
Oh. He nasty.
Because he wanted to pray some deliverance. That's what he said.
Wait a minute, he wanted to involve the word of God in masturbating? Was the other woman married too?
She was married. She was married. And he did not want her to get married to this dude. And so because she was pregnant before she got married, you're a whore, you're a this, you're a that. So in this girl's mind, she feels like she's damaged goods because this man has implanted all this negative stuff in her head.
Oh my God.
So when she was pregnant and before she was pregnant, she was like, well, Pastor, I still have sensation and I still want to do this. And he was like, well, when you get that urge or when you want to do this and you want to masturbate, just FaceTime me and I'll pray for you while you masturbate.
That reminds me of the pastor in Brazil, I believe, or was it Central America? And he was basically saying that his semen, if he ejaculated in the women's mouths,
is milk.
Is milk with blood. We're supposed to cure them and bless them.
Okay. And see now, I'm being sued, but this is what you've been doing.
Well, they sue when it's true.
And me personally, what I had said was, had you had to just shut the fuck up and left it alone?
I tell everybody that never chase a fucking lie.
If you had to just shut the fuck up.
This shit would have been done.
We would have been... Tasha, how many times we get a new story?
People move on every 3 days. It's going to be somebody else. And nobody's going to be talking about this. And you can go on and build your church. But when you drag this out for years and years and years and months, they're going to keep being reminded of it. And then people eventually going to get tired and be like, well, why can't we move on? Because a lot of times, and more times than one, this shit is true. And they're doing it to bully, control the narrative, and silence you.
Tasha, we would have moved on. Everybody would have forgot his... I got one even better. His church members even told me, they said, Mario, had he had to just apologize, sat his ass down for a period of time, and actually was repentive, we would have stayed at the church.
Which they normally do if a pastor does fuck up. They make them just step down for like a few months or so to go through some type of rehabilitation. I've seen them do that in churches.
He had a bishop friend of his come to the church, and the bishop, after seeing everything, told him, you're not fit to lead. You're not fit to pastor because after all of this that you've done, you need to be sitting. He said, I'm the pastor, I'm the bishop, basically, allegedly.
Power is a motherfucker.
And I do what I want to do. This is my church. And so he had been emailing the members and texting the members. And after all of that, they left. So this happened, all of this letters, the people leaving the church, all of this stuff, all of this big scandal happened before it came to me.
So you're just someone he's chosen, in your opinion, to, I guess, it's like misplaced anger. So he can't be mad at the members because they pay the bills. He can't be mad at other bishops because those are his connections, networking.
His anger needs to be placed on himself.
Right.
Because had you had of just controlled your...
Now that is what you call a narcissist.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Had you had of just controlled your sexual urges and desires and put that in your wife, because she... Why
can't everybody be like Bishop Noel? Bishop Noel, he didn't get married till he was damn near 75.
You don't want to... Don't do that, because I'm telling you, there's T. Tasha, there's wife.
He ain't had no wife. What is it? What is it, King John?
Nothing.
Nah, you can't do that now. What allegedly? Just a little bit.
You know,
just a sip.
You know.
But I'm saying, but it's kind of like when people bring me wine on Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, unless he's sexually assaulting or whooping a bitch ass, I don't want it. Cheating, you can't cheat when you got multiple women and they know exactly what. And women tend to be attracted to men with power, men with money, and they use that. And especially if they have not only do they have power, money, and they have the gift of talk. That's a dangerous combination.
My old pastor told me Noel Jones told him,
Lord Jesus.
Jamal Bryant,
okay,
and a whole bunch of other preachers. Told him and a whole bunch, Jamal. I'm trying to figure out who else was in the room.
Jamal stay trying to threaten to sue somebody.
That if you gonna mess around with somebody, make sure they got just as much to lose as you do. So if you gonna fuck up, make sure that whoever it is can hold your secrets. And see, this be the problem. Y'all fucking with people who can't hold your secrets.
There's not enough money involved.
There's not enough. And probably half the shit y'all doing, it's not worth holding anyways.
I think once, people figure out that these people that they deem as powerful in these powerful positions, that you have been able to, take that power away and you use your pussy to do it, they now have dominion over you. So now when you see preachers or pastors or bishops like Wayne, Felton and others.
But don't nobody know Wayne though. That's the thing. Like you got this little piss ass little church in St. Paul. You got now granted.
What's the property value out there for a 10,000 square foot house? Look.
Now he just upped it to 2, but that it was like $1 million and some change.
Okay.
But the thing is, like when I lived in Minnesota, like his Sunday night service used to be jumping.
Okay.
Like I guess church wise it would be jumping. He used to have maybe 100 and some people in that building, like, and it was like really like it was like the church to go to on Sunday nights. It would be really just rocking. Now the band needed a little work, but and the praise team, but it was just like just a little rocking place to go Sunday nights. But sir, didn't nobody know you like that? Like you was the type of person you was trying to get in these circles because you wanted your name out there.
But it was a small town though.
It was a small town,
and that shit traveled real fast.
Yeah.
So you're saying that basically everything that he's suing you for had already happened before, which means he lost his members, his reputation was damaged. It seems like him and the wife are good.
So she had a Christmas concert.
The wife.
The wife had a Christmas concert.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened to them at home and behind the closed doors, but she got up at the Christmas concert and said, I want to just thank my husband, for supporting me, for paying for this concert. And, no matter what's going on, I love my husband. All of this type of stuff. So, she ain't going nowhere. She, what's she going to do?
Where's she going to go?
What's she going to do?
Where's she going to go is the question.
Now, I heard somebody, I heard allegedly somebody at the church gave them some jobs and paying them 6-figure salaries. Oh. Now, I heard that now.
So how long have y'all been in court?
We've been in court since, I think, April.
Okay.
And
I told you, get rid of the lawyers that you got. Get you a First Amendment right defamation attorney.
That's what I thought I had.
That's all they do. And you don't want them practicing nothing else but defamation. When I tell you that lawsuit set me on my ass so bad that I called the crackers that represented Elon Musk when he was sued for tweeting on his own shit. They was like, we can't represent you, but we know somebody that can do a better job.
But I ain't got your type of money.
It ain't about the money. Sometimes you got to put the money where it belongs so you save more money. Do you understand what I'm saying? Literally. When
y'all want to buy a crown, go to www.kingchildshow.com.
Your crowns are busted.
Shit.
Your crowns are busted.
Go on, get you one. I can afford to get a Tasha lawyer. God damn it. Sure,
You have to, because you don't understand. Like, when I tell you the way Elon Musk's attorneys broke it down for me, he was sued for calling somebody, I believe, a pedophile, if I'm not mistaken, or accusing them of that.
Matt Gaetz?
I think so. And he ended up losing that case, right? And I was attracted to that team because I'm like, if they lost, they know why they lost. Because he's Elon Musk, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I called them, they knew exactly who I was. They was like, oh, yeah, we know you. We've studied your case.
Well,
right?
Duh, you all over TMZ.
Everybody, right? And I asked them, I said, because this is when I was going to, because I had already lost the appeal based off my lawyers not following the right paperwork. It was just embarrassing all around. And they said to me, well, let me tell you something. Going forward, these are the type of attorneys that you need. So you're in the right place. This is all we do. Mm-hmm. We don't do no criminal law. We don't do no personal injury. We do defamation, First Amendment law. Copyright, IP. This is all we do is protect you as a brand, right? And two, even if we were to go to trial, which we don't advise anybody to go to trial, but while you're in trial, we're going to have an appellate attorney sitting in there that only does defamation. First Amendment right law. So which means as soon as the trial is over, that appeal is going in. And while that appeal is in, we're going to be getting ready for the Supreme Court. So there's a thing. So I'm like, oh my God. And he gave me all that game for free and gave me the attorney that I have now. This guy teaches First Amendment law. And we've been getting hit with cease and desist, and them cease and desist cease.
How you get hit with cease and desist?
Oh, I still get hit with cease and desist, and they cease. I'm like, hey, what happened to it? Don't worry about it. He writes them back and gives them a jump in the lake letter. And every time he does something like that, he gets a cease and desist knocked out or gets them to stand down. He puts it on his website and tweets it as it goes. Because it's listen, you want to come at us? This is my client. And then he offers a service, my attorney, that is called pre-publication. So he's always educating his clients on what to do in order to minimize people being able to file a lawsuit against you. So when he does step in and you do get the cease and desist, you've been listening and watching his lectures, okay? And you know how to report shit. That's why I said, you say according to this person at this time, this is what you said, not me, not us. You understand?
Right.
We're just reporting.
Do
you want to comment on this, right? And so by the time it gets to him, his job is easier and less money for everybody, right? He makes more money on the front end than he does the back end. There are some lawyers that are litigation happy, right? They litigation happy. They make money off of litigating. He don't want to be drowned going in and out of court, having to fight this and that. It's better if I just knock it out the ballpark before it even get there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so normally it's like, this is the size of my dick. What size is your dick? And my dick been out here a long time. 40 years of doing this shit. Not 40 years old, but 40 years of doing this shit. I teach motherfuckers the law as it changes. So he'll call me on some new digital media shit and be like, yo, just want to let you know. The Supreme Court has passed a law saying that this could possibly end up getting you sued such and such. So make sure as you're going forward, you're doing this. Yes, sir. Thank you, Cracker. Appreciate it.
Right.
Out of here. So, wine gossip comedy. Which means we telling you from the gate, this shit could not be true. It could be satire.
Right.
You understand? So like that's what I'm telling you. Like so when I saw that, you know, you were being sued for ultimately something similar to mine, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, but when I saw the allegations, I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. So I'm like, I knew if this man had taken all that, like it had to be something. And a lot of people don't understand. How many times have you been served with lawsuits or cease and desist? This your first time?
Actually.
So you've never gotten cease and desist before this? Dude, I can't even count. Like that's how many I can't even count.
I think I may have gotten a cease and desist before, but that was from a friend. So.
Yeah. So I'm out here for you know, and that's why I share my story a lot, because I don't want to see fellow YouTubers and bloggers wound up in the same situation that I wound up in based off of ignorance.
Well, see, like your situation, I always try to tell people, if you
come to the mic now, come to the mic. We need to hear you.
If you going to tell some stories, have your facts, proof, and your goddamn receipts. Because again, they can hit you with something, but as long as you have the truth, and the right attorney, you're fine.
Right.
Because again, especially for a lot of us that like to do what we're doing, if this is what you're doing, you're not malicious in what you're doing, you're fine. Because at the end of the day, we're just reporting on what's going on around the world.
Right.
So you can't, like, they can hit you with a cease and desist, but it's like, why? Because you need to hit everybody else, all these other people out here that's telling the same story too.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, that's why, and I do that, but then it's like, you know, people do what they want to do. And like with me, nobody else has reported on the story. Nobody.
Until me.
Until you.
I see something. There's one more you gave me too. Woo!
Oh, baby.
Josh,
baby.
Josh, you got the mother. I said, listen, I'm going to have to do a deal with you, brother. I'm just going to have to do a content deal with you. It's just going to have to happen. I got, when I see something that's of value, I want a partner. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got a whole bunch of them.
I know.
I got a bunch.
You told me that months ago. You was like, you want some wine, bitch? I got you some wine.
Listen. It overfloweth.
For the winos, I may have to go on and make this deal. Because we need that. It's kind of like, you know, TMZ having different sectors. And, you know, we need different sectors of wine. It's the gospel wine over here, you know.
Because I'm like, this particular world, it's always something going on. And people always doing fuck shit, whether they do it intentionally or not intentionally. Like there's a recent situation, the man Damon Massey.
Yes, the herpes.
No, not the herpes.
No, that's not him?
That's not the herpes.
Which one?
That's not the herpes.
Which one is it? Because I know there was
That's
a
the
pastor
man with
out
the
here.
sex tape. That's the man with the sex tape.
Yeah.
That's the other man with the sex tape.
Okay.
There was a sex tape that leaked, and he was, you know, hitting a dude from the back, and then he got out here. He want to apologize and crying on the video too. And I'm like, what is with all y'all crying? I told him too. Don't get out here and say nothing. Just be quiet.
Same conversations I had with these celebrities that talk to me like they in their DM. I'm like, why the fuck are you on the internet?
Why are y'all talking?
They will forget about it in 72 hours.
Just be quiet.
It'll be done. Same thing I told T.I. and Tiny. Why are you talking? You didn't lose your deals because of the story. You lost your deals because you opened your fucking mouth.
That's it.
You associated T.I. says in response to.
Because when you respond to it, everybody in every outlet is going to say you said, and then they're going to put their spin to it. That's how it works. And then you'll be like, I didn't say that. Well, damn, I didn't say that either.
And Barbie and the Toyota, them don't want their name attached to that shit at all. So like, Barbie, Barbie, you know, just Barbie, Bratz dolls and stuff, you know. Advertisers.
Okay. I get it. Okay.
Like Barbie.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you get all these people that be out here, and then like this new case with old dude. Now I haven't talked to him, but he don't want to talk to nobody. But you know this new.
And we're talking about this is the Herb.
This the Herb, Mr. Herb.
Bishop Herpes.
Bishop Herb.
Okay, said that he got the herpes allegedly from his baby mama.
That situation.
And then gave it to, I don't know if it was a mender who I got to get the deets on that.
So
but
you want to talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know what.
No.
But he had met this girl online. But see, I know how this shit worked. He knew her because the daddy worked with a lot of higher up bishops. And so, you know, that's the baby girl, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and she real pretty. And you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
So she the preacher's daughter for
she
real.
The preacher's daughter. And so this nigga was like, oh, I've been a fan of yours. I would have been like, ding, 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 red flag, motherfucker, red flag. He was like, I'm a fan of yours. And she was like, oh, hey. You know, all this right here. And so, you know, they got to talking and stuff. And, you know, one thing led to another. So she was open with him and honest, was like, listen, you know, I want to get to know you. I want to talk to you and everything like that. What is your sexual health and all of this stuff. And
so she asked him about
She asked him
that.
all of that stuff. You know, I have kids, you know, he has a son, all of this stuff. And so he was like, oh, I'm clean. You know, I don't have nothing, all of this stuff like that. So, you know, then they started, you know, dating, and then they eventually started having sex.
I'm looking for his name.
Ralph
name.
West II.
There we go. That's what I called you.
Big Herb. That's what I call him, Big Herb.
Ordered to pay $2.45 million to a woman after he was found liable of giving her herpes and knowingly transmitted the disease.
Big Herb.
Bishop Herb. Okay, so what?
So, you know, she had this conversation. Well, now, mind you, I had been talking to this girl about this situation for a minute now. And I had been telling her, like, hey, you know, because I didn't know who she was. And I was like, you know, do you have documents, paperwork? Because, again, if you say this dude is as big as he is and his parents are this big and they got all this stuff like this, because at that time I didn't look him up. So when I did look him up, I'm like, this motherfucker got 3 big-ass campuses and they got all these big-ass houses. Legit. They got big-ass churches.
Damn.
Like big motherfucking. So
he got it.
Big T.D. Jakes size churches.
So he got the money.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Like, and he's one of the pastors over one of the churches.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, he wanted to date her and all this other stuff like that. And so I said, do you have XYZ? I need this information. I need to talk to your lawyer. Woo, woo, woo. So me and the lawyer talked. And so they began, you know, I got the information. So I did a little story on it. Then next, you know, they went to court. So his attorney, Big Herb, said she don't need to get shit. In my words, she don't need to get shit. She got what she deserved. Oh, yes. And so, you know, she was just trying to get with a preacher, da-da-da-da-da.
They had money and shit.
They had money.
But she come from money.
She come from money.
So naturally she would want to, like, why would she not want someone who could do better than her daddy?
Right. So, you know, it's real tea right here.
Go ahead. Why?
So during COVID, this case go back to like 2019.
Okay.
During COVID, she having to get this nigga some money.
Well, why couldn't he get a PPP loan?
I think these niggas be just trying to see how far they can get with these girls. That's what I be thinking sometimes.
When that what the COVID was for, the PPP money for the churches, why did he have to go ask her? And that's her daddy's money. And he got a big church. How much did she give him?
I don't know. But payback is a motherfucker, I guess.
Because he got to get that back now.
Oh, he got to pay her $2.45
plus legal fees.
I guess so.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, and so like after all of that, you know, she had told him like, hey, you know, sexually, you know, be honest with me about this. I need to know what's going on with your health and everything. He was like, I'm good. Everything's good.
And she
sexually.
took his word for it?
She took his word.
No.
You know what I'm saying,
The
Tasha?
nigga's supposed to tell you,
But
let's
Tasha,
go get tested.
But Tasha, let me tell you something about these Kojic girls. Kojic is Church of God in Christ.
Okay.
A lot of these girls are, I don't want to say dumb, but a lot of these girls are very like, okay, like, if you say so, I believe you. I grew up in this world, so I know what I'm talking about. And, you know, they see a guy, he looks prosperous, he look like he's doing good. His daddy them got all this going on. Okay, oh my God, he says he's doing, oh my God, it's the man of my dreams.
I'm finna be a first lady.
So he started smashing this shit with the condom, then started taking that shit off. Next thing you know, she said she started feeling something.
What she felt? Besides, it should have been just only dick.
No. She said she started feeling something.
On the inside.
She started feeling something with her cooch.
Oh, God.
That's not funny, but the way I'm describing it is just funny to me.
It's funny. No, we need to laugh so these little girls will get it.
Yeah. So she said she started feeling something on her cooch.
And you have to ask for an extra test for herpes because it's not included.
Our first date is going to be to the motherfucking clinic, bitch.
It has to, you have to understand, you have to ask for HPV and you have to ask for HSV. We need the whole sheet. Those are extra tests that don't come with the traditional STD panel, okay? Mm-hmm. So you have to say, hey, doctor, could you please test for HPV as well as HSV, which is the herpes simplex virus 1 and 2, and you only can test for cold sores around the mouth with a blood test, okay? And yes, you can get a vaginal swab for herpes in the vaginal area, but if you have a person has oral herpes and they're eating your pussy, the only way that you can test for that is through blood, okay? Now, they can trick you and give you a herpes simplex virus test with swabs, okay? And they can swab for HSV 1 and 2 vaginally. And you can honestly think that the herpes 1 is the sores around the mouth. But no, it's for sores, herpes 1 being transmittable to your vaginal area, okay, by oral. So you have oral herpes and you have vaginal herpes, which is HSV 1 and HSV 2. And that's how you can essentially trick somebody, okay? So, yeah.
So
did that make sense to you?
It did.
So the only way to test for herpes around the mouth is a blood test. No swabs, no nothing. Or if you happen to see an active breakout in pictures and things like that.
Well. Yeah. So
just in case motherfuckers.
He was hitting it with and without.
So that means, and herpes can be so small. It can be a rash. And so he probably went in her when he was active and he wasn't on his Valdrax. And so she started burning from the inside. I would rather take cold sores than vaginal herpes.
So she went to the doctor and got tested and found out that she had it. She had contracted herpes. Oh, however y'all say it, I don't know how to, I don't want to be wrong.
HSV.
She had
2.
got it. And so when she confronted him about it, by the time she confronted him, he said no. And then he turned around and said, oh no, I got it from my baby mama.
Oh no.
And then the baby mama said, bitch, you lying. You didn't get it from me.
Did he give it to her too?
No. But then when she went to go personally confront him, he had another bitch in his bed. Yeah.
Like she saw another bitch in his bed? And there was probably no condom on.
But they don't make matters worse. So I got an inbox. Same story. I got an inbox. And allegedly there's another victim.
She coming for Jake. I love it. Get all you can get. Be all you can be.
And I'm just like, and the first thing I told her was, I said, are you serious? She said, yes. I said, you need to go get checked. You need to go get checked. Because if you're having sex with this man, she said, how I found out was somebody, because they knew me and him were going together. How I found out.
Not going together. That is so old school.
And they sent me your video.
Oh, no.
I said, well, you need to go get checked. Because if y'all been doing anything, you need to go get checked. Because again, if you're just now saying this, and then so he told her, allegedly, he told her that I need to talk to you. Oh no, bitch, it's all over the news now. You can't hide that. And so any other woman that you messing with and you messing with them besides this woman, it didn't hit the news, it didn't hit social media. So your ass about to be grass. Because I think I'm not sure, but I think it's illegal to be giving out a disease like this and you're not telling people.
Charges coming at
you. Okay, just.
Yeah. What?
Y'all heard it right here on the Tashak wine.
Yes, the unwind.
Sipping the wine on the unwind.
Absolutely. Cheers. Cheers. How's his church doing after this news?
I don't know. I don't go looking to see.
Because when there's always that moment in church where they say, when it's time to get saved. And they say, if you.
So this just happened this week. So I'm trying to figure out what you gonna preach on Sunday.
He probably been up there telling them it's not true. And then all of a sudden they said.
Well, see, there has, from what I know with this person.
It goes back to people only sue when it's true.
Well, he not suing her.
No.
Wait.
Across the board.
Did you see what he told her?
No, what did he tell her?
Oh, don't nobody want you. Nobody's going to want you when they find out what you got.
That's probably what he telling the other ones, too.
That's what he told her. You might as well marry me. Or if you go tell, I'm going to tell the people what you got. I'm going to tell the people that you're a whore, you're a slut. That's what he told her. Yes.
I need to see what this girl look like. I really do. I ain't gonna put a picture out because that's her privacy. But like,
she's really pretty, and it's coming from a gay man. She's really pretty. Okay. She's really pretty.
Damn, she ain't even had children yet.
She got. I think she got 2 kids.
Oh, she got kids.
She got 2 kids.
So she been married, or she just fast? Preacher's daughters be.
I
what you call it? Kojak.
She Church of God in Christ,
Oh my God.
She got 2 beautiful kids.
Well, she got a payday.
But that's not enough, Tasha.
I know.
Like you gotta live
her medical bills per month to treat it and to keep it dormant. She's gonna have to go on.
Like you can't have normal sex no more. And I mean,
she can, but she has to be undetectable.
Yeah.
Sort of like how HIV patients.
Yeah.
You got to be undetectable. And they have, the medicine now is so advanced. That's why I'm trying to figure out why is he knowingly getting it out. It takes a pill a day. He could have taken a pill a day and not transmitted anything. And he knows.
Or maybe he didn't want to go to the clinic.
That's what I'm saying. When you have but that's painful for a man to have herpes, active herpes breakouts. That's painful because it's painful for a woman.
It's painful for you to have a breakout, but you want to pass that shit off.
They don't care. They want raw dog.
Raw dog?
They want raw. They want raw.
You said raw?
Raw dog. They want to feel it.
You can feel it with a condom on.
They can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I'm gonna stay married. You know why? because I've been fucking for so long without a condom that if I enter the dating scene, it's not gonna be the same. And I know I'm gonna be like ready to risk it all.
And you know what, Tasha?
And I'm like, nah, I'm staying my ass at the motherfucking house.
You better stay married to that short ass man. that is here.
5'9".
You better listen, cause the dating scene, especially people like us, you can't date, cause people like, oh, you Tasha K, oh, you King Jives, like you. Like people don't date to date you. They date to date
the brand.
The brand.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I mean,
that's why I would probably end up going foreign again. You know, getting me a little white European somewhere.
Not you gonna get a white European.
Come on, Jean Paul. Let's go.
That will work. Listen, as long as they treat you right.
That's all that matters. Look, I'm gonna pull an Eve and a Janet Jackson. Get me a billion.
She got a billion. Ooh.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Shit,
bitch.
Motherfucker that don't need no.
When
clout.
I saw that, I was like, bitch, I ain't even mad. Like,
from the strip club.
I ain't even mad.
To a billionaire like that bitch came out the strip club and put that pussy on that cracker. And he ain't left. Even let him name his baby a cracker named Hunter. I said, you go, Eve. Go, bitch. Knowing damn well that bitch from New York City. You don't know no nigga named
Raekwon. Sean, Mike, Ricky, Hunter.
I think it's like Wolf Hunter. Hold on. Is it Wolf Hunter? Or something like that.
They just got that Wolf Hunter.
Yeah, it's Wolf. Let me see. Eve's baby name. Eve's baby name.
I was about to say something, but I ain't even do that. That's almost bad as
Wild Wolf. That's his name.
They gonna have us on the shade roof and talk about this goddamn child name. Don't.
Either way, it ain't no black name. That's what I'm trying to tell you. God. She has completely converted over. Eve is now a white woman.
That's okay. That child gonna feel good when he get older. Shit.
But
shit gonna be paid.
That's what I'm saying. So like that is crazy though. Like,
I mean, like, you know, when it comes down to it, and then a lot of people's like, you know, making fun of her, like, well, look, she getting paid all that money. Like, look, you shouldn't even make fun of it. Like, it doesn't matter how much money that girl just got. Should nobody have to be worried about contracting anything from anybody if you just be honest? Because the thing about it is that if me and you are trying to date and form something, if you be honest with me and say, hey, babe, like, listen, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I just got to be honest with you about this. Now, before we move forward, this is what I got going on. You got to give people that option.
You do. You took that right away.
You took that from her.
And that's sexual assault.
And that's why she won that 2.45. Yeah. But she gonna wear a nice little red bottom now.
But it still ain't gonna cure the herpes.
It ain't gonna cure the herpes.
Yeah. No, she called Yaki Awaken. He make it help out.
Who?
And lay it dormant. Yaki Awaken. He's like the young Dr. Sabi out here.
He who?
Yaki Awaken.
I think I seen him before.
Yeah, he was on my show and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he does it. All he does is herbs and shit.
Can he cure being bald?
I don't know. He may be able to. I like the bald head though. You don't like it?
Well, you know, I miss being able to put in a little ponytail.
No. I'm like, I like the bald head. It makes you look groomed and clean.
Yeah.
But listen, so what are you hoping that's gonna happen with this lawsuit? Get thrown out and.
I really, at this point, I just wanted to just be dismissed, okay, and we all just move on. I'm not signing no motherfucking papers. I'm not signing no confidentiality goddamn agreement, cause bitch, you're not finna have me on no goddamn papers. Them papers.
People ask why I didn't settle.
You get what I'm saying?
There was things that they wanted that I said,
Like, I mean, like, cause first of all, it was true.
I'd take them down. I'd take the videos down, but we ain't. That's it. That's as far as it gonna go.
You know, like, I'm in agreement to like you go your way, I go mine. And at this point, I ain't made no money off these fucking videos. Let's just be very clear. I ain't even made no money off my site on these fucking posts. So whether they stay up or down, ain't nobody checking for your bitch ass. Oh. Let's just be very motherfucking clear. So if you want these shits down, you can dismiss this motherfucking lawsuit. But if not, bitch, the shit can stay up. But ain't nobody signing shit. I just want to dismiss. That's all. Because it's just like this right here. You're wasting money that you don't have, you punk black Squidward looking ass bitch. SpongeBob SquarePants.
It sound like fighting words.
That's how I feel.
I know. Especially when they fucking with your pocket.
You know what I'm saying? You know, bitch, I got bills.
He's fucking with me.
I ain't got your bills. I got goddamn bills. Bitch, you gotta sit up here and pay this motherfucking white man all this goddamn motherfucking money, then sit up here paying for some fucking bullshit because this motherfucking squid we're looking at, swole head ass bitch, paying for some bullshit. He out here, you the dead. You fucking with the white girl, you got me out here paying for some bullshit. Nothing ass nigga.
If you paid her, this shit probably would have went away.
So, I just wanted to go away.
It's okay.
Just dismiss it. You go your way, bitch. You can go back into the ocean with where's SpongeBob, man? We can be all fine. Cause I promise you, I won't say nothing else. I don't care to say anything else. Cause like the only reason why I'm even talking about this case is because my lawyer presented something else. That's it. That's okay. Cause I don't give a fuck about him. That's just and because he has did this, it's just a real disdain with me right now. Yeah. Like, bitch, if I did not like you before, which that was never the case, I know I don't like you now. Okay. Praise God, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, King motherfucking Jives. I see why you wear the crown in that sector. That part. I see why you make the crown. Oh,
that part.
The wine, the communion that we had today.
Has been
No. Finish up your bottle. We brought this bottle out for you. They be saying I be trying to oil the guests up to just spill wine.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay.
People need to be.
I don't feel intoxicated. Just I feel smooth.
You see?
Good smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Jives. You can follow him everywhere at Official King Jives, correct?
Yes.
On Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah. If you guys want to keep up with what's going on in the church sector, any and all things church, he is the one that is going to give it to you non-biased, okay?
None.
He sit right next to Jesus.
You hear me? Bitch, me and Jesus have a cup here. We have us a glass.
I'm just gonna have to sit you down. I'm just gonna have to bring you in, let you sit down, and we just go through the wine. Just go through the wine. Just turn the pages in the Bible. Turn the Psalms 13, 18. Listen. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love everything that you do. You are thoroughly entertaining.
Thank you.
I'm sure the winos is going to be over there with them wine glasses. They're going to be like, oh, Tasha, where'd you get him? We all messy.
Listen, and the people love the mess.
They love it.
They love the mess. They can't get mad. They love the mess.
Yes. And we shall be watching, okay? And so thank you again for coming out, taking time out of your busy schedule, okay? I do hope things do go in your favor during this case, this unfortunate case. I don't want to see you end up, where I was and things like that. And so, but with the right attorney, and like I said, you still have time now. It was way too late for me because I was too busy building. I wasn't worried about what was going on behind the scenes. And then when it got too late, I was like, what the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah. But nevertheless, it was the greatest lesson that I ever went through because not only do I know what not to do, I know how to move forward. I have the right people around me, and it will definitely, not to say make me liable proof, but it will minimize the amount of claims that could be brought against me, okay? And I'm using my platform to educate other YouTubers or just influencers as a whole, because defamation is now rising from all of the access that we have as regular people who don't necessarily have a background in journalism or took any journalism classes, or
they just throwing
them all out there, you know what I'm saying? And so, and just to see even Alex Jones, he ain't one of us, but just to study his case, I mean, they ordered him to pay $1 billion. He didn't even finish trial. Yeah. Okay.
$1 billion?
$1 billion. I think it's up to $2 billion now because of punitive damages and all of that. White man. Yeah.
Who the hell is Alex Jones? I ain't know. Okay, we'll talk.
See, that's why I delve on both sides. I keep up with the wine internationally, and I thought I was the biggest, okay? And then it was Amber Heard, and then it was Alex Jones. And Alex Jones, I don't think anybody has ever had to pay out that much in a defamation case.
$1 billion?
$1 billion plus, and it's still counting. So he filed for bankruptcy in the middle of the trial when he saw where it was going. When they first hit him with the first...
what did he do?
He just said basically that the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. And the parents sued him. And now it's kind of... I don't see any benefit in suing someone like that because he doesn't have the money. And two, it's not going to bring your child back. But if that was truly his opinion, and we all know that it was a real thing... Him saying that it wasn't was his own opinion. And it falls under the line of conspiracy news. But being that he didn't have a trial, and they kind of just, because they were saying that his lawyer missed some deadlines or didn't submit certain things, so they just went ahead and ruled in favor of, the plaintiffs. And so he just knew it. Once they hit him with, I believe it was like $500 million at first, he just went ahead and just filed bankruptcy because he knew when he came back the next day it was going to be more, and it was up to $1 billion, and it's still counting. He just went ahead and said this is, but I think honestly with the right appellate attorneys, he's going to be able to reverse this because of everything and the way it happened. But it's just going to be, I mean, they're draining him in legal fees. And they try to use that. I think it kind of makes the court not be taken serious where you do things like that. Yeah,
because it's just,
give these astronomical amount of just
that's like,
fees
that's
and
like
stuff.
whatchamacallit, like that one dude, you know what I'm talking about, making up all these fees and these prices, like, what?
Yeah, so, and it's like, it's kind of like, you why would you take the court serious at this point? If they're going to indulge in this foolishness and not even look at the facts, who's going to take you serious? And so at the end of the day, catch me if you can, bitch. That's what it ultimately, especially when it's dealing with niggas. Like, hey, I ain't got it. I still ain't paid my motherfucking student loans.
Uncle Joe, since you giving out $9 million right here, pay the mugs off.
I think he only said 1,000 people go get this money or something. I don't.
Uncle Joe, right here. Uncle Joe.
Yes. But no, thank you again for coming through. And like I said, it was an awesome podcast. I can't wait to have you back here again. Okay?
I can't.
And we shall be serving the Lord's wine. Okay?
Yes. I don't know what color's going to be the next time, but listen.
Anytime. Period. Lord, forgive her. My God. Oh, that was good. Jesus. You are so underrated in that segment. You know that, right?
I do.